Okay, so let's get started. First thing that I'm going to think about here for our cardboard challenge is, of course, we're all wearing these masks. And when we put them on, so when I put it on here, hooks behind my ears, which isn't so bad, but after a while it gets very uncomfortable. And so what I'm thinking is it might be helpful to make something that instead of it hooking here, with a little more stretch, it hooks onto something made of cardboard that goes behind my head. And so it's attached there instead of just on my ears. So I'm thinking that might be a cool thing to start with here. So I'm going to get started. I'm going to get some of my cardboard, which I have down here, and experiment a little bit. So I have these different kinds of cardboard. I'm thinking I might use this one because it's kind of stiff, and so it might have the sort of strength it needs to withstand the force of the mask pulling. I don't really know, but we'll try it out. Since I know though that this might be how the material I want to use in the end, maybe I don't want to use this for prototyping, so I have some other cardboard that I think I might start out with just so I can maybe get the general shape figured out. So that's going to come later. I think I want to start by using some of this cardboard, play around with it. Just take one of these things off the edge, because I think that would be perfect material for trying this out. So what I'm sort of thinking about on this and is something that sort of looks like this. There's a little gap in there. A pencil is not going to do it. So a little place for the strap to hook onto like that. So kind of a two slits right there. Maybe that's a little bigger than I want it. And so I guess I have to figure out for size. How do I want to do this? So I want maybe a similar level of stretch or a little bit more. So I need to be able to measure the amount, the length around my head from this point on either side. That's what it needs to do. So let's see if I can kind of remember those points on my head like that. And I need to go around the back. So if I kind of take this, that seems to be about right. Okay, so those 2 points. Let's make okay. So I put that one at that edge and this one right about here. So maybe this about the right length, like that. Okay. Starting real simple. And so I'm going to start and just put a single cut. Maybe that's enough for the edge of the mask to kind of be hooked in there. So try to do the same thing on the other side. Again, it doesn't have to be pretty right now. We're just testing this out, seeing how well it works. Okay, and so this would hook on this. One at a time, slide them in. interesting. All right, so I'm already, well, let's try it out. Not the easiest to get on here. So obviously in terms of usability, we're not quite there because this is quite a lot of work to get this on. So I know that down the road, it would be nice to be able to have this so that I can kind of very easily tell where these are so that I can just put those on. To help with this, I'm going to make this slit a little bit bigger. I think in doing that, it's going to be a little bit too much friction. So I'm going to need something a little bit more durable to put this on. So I'm going to hold with my finger, maybe on both sides. As I put this on. So both sides. Not an effective first prototype for sure. All right, well, so let's see if we can figure out what's going on. I can see very clearly this is not going to be enough to kind of withstand the force of the elastic. It's going to be pulled out, even if this is on the back of my head. I'm definitely putting in more force as I'm putting it on than it's going to experience while it's on my head. But as of right now, this is a no-go. Because even if I try to hold it there as I put it on, the moment I let go from one side, it releases. So I'm going to need something a little bit stronger to keep that in place. And it could be just the cardboard itself that's not strong enough, and it could be improved when I use the stronger stuff. But I think we need another approach. So what I'm thinking now is what happens if, because the line of force of this is this way, maybe my slit actually needs to be here on this this surface, because if I put it there, then it's the line of force is going to be this way, which is actually going to be it's not going to pull it out of that slot. So let's make a couple new slots. So we'll do one on this side, and I'm going to try. I'm going to offset them a little bit. I'm just going to use a slit. I'm not going to make the thicker notch like I did for this one. So I'm going to try putting it in like that. I'll try it on this side as well. It's a lot easier to get that on, actually. Alright, so it made it farther than we did before, and this is actually hanging out right in the back of my neck. I was planning on it being on my head, but actually that feels pretty. That feels pretty okay there. So I think what I may do is the length seems okay. I may need to cut this away a little bit in order to make it so that it fits my head the right way. So I can cut away this extra cardboard maybe that I don't need. The length could be a little smaller now that it's on my neck, so I might even try using a smaller piece to keep that in place. So let's try that. So again, we're starting with just a regular, it's rectangular, it's not pretty. We'll see if we can get it to work. And now, let's just put a slot in each side. And again, I'm keeping those offset from each other so that there's a little bit of extra material in there. Okay, so it is going over my ears, but it's not in the same way as it was before. I wonder, and that works as well. That works because now it's just below my ears in both cases, and it's sticking there, it's staying where it is. That's pretty good. It still has some corners on it. You can maybe see there, right? Corners right there and right there. So I'll try and round those out a bit. And the other thing I'm realizing is, hair aside, because I'm just making this out of cardboard, I could attach one of these to all of my masks once they're out of the washing machine and just have a bunch of them ready to go. It doesn't take that long to attach it. So it might be kind of nice to just make a bunch of these and have them ready. So I'm going to now take away some of this extra material. Let's do a little bit of that. Okay. All right. So it's like that. It's kind of rounded. You still kind of see it. That's not the end of the world. And so I'm just kind of curious with this design. So again, on this one, I had a slit here. I had a slit here and a slit here. And the mask is attaching in both those places. I think I do want the slit in both places to kind of keep it in place so it doesn't slide off. So I think what I might do, it doesn't feel too uncomfortable, but I might try now taking this and making it in the other cardboard. I don't know what other improvements I would make, because this is pretty good. I guess I could try, just kind of thinking about this. The tension is pretty good. It doesn't look like it's going to tear there. I wonder how much material I can actually take away and still have this do what it's supposed to do. So let's try taking out more material, maybe a half moon size or a half moon shape out of both sides and see if it changes anything. Again, now the function is there. Now we're working more on just how it looks. Oh, well, that is a little bit of a problem. In all this testing, my elastic band has broken. I can fix that with a little nut. Stand by. Okay. I'm gonna pull this out while I fix it. Nothing too bad. Again, it's just a little elastic cord, so we can probably replace this very easily. Just put a little square knot in there. Hope for the best. There we go. It's gonna affect the stretchiness of it. All right, let's put that back in. Oh, it looks like I might actually have that on that problem on the other side as well. That's about to break. All right. So again, I've reduced the amount of material on this just to try and make it a little nicer looking. So let's try it out. That is not bad. And so with that one cord, and now this one is actually broken, the length is a little bit awkward, and it's almost as if because of the way I've done this, it's adjustable a little bit because I can move this along my neck, right? Okay, so I'll need to fix that. But I think now with this, I think you know, this, it's not bad. But let's try making this with our nicer cardboard, maybe with that dark blue on the outside. I think the size is about right, and see if we can make a nicer version. And I also have to fix the other side of my mask, of course. And I wonder, that in itself is a problem, that it's like the cardboard is sharp enough that it's wearing that away. Maybe I do actually want to make this a notch rather than, or like a thicker notch instead of what's here. So instead of having just the cardboard, maybe just making like a triangular cut. Triangular cut like that. Maybe that will reduce the stress on the cord. So maybe I'm not done optimizing this. Knot in this one, even out that length a little bit. All right, so square knot now on both sides. And we'll try our new notches to see how well those work. It's a lot easier to attach to this strap now. It does slip out when I just did that. Testing that a little bit. Looks like that should be enough. Okay. Actually, I want to try something. I want to see if I can put the mask on and then attach the band on the other side. Oh, that worked great. Those notches make it really easy to attach it without looking at it, so that's pretty good. All right, so let's actually make our final version now out of our nice cardboard. And I have this one if I want to use it. It's a prototype, of course. It'll go down in history as being the prototype that saved the world. Not really. But let's make another version just to see if we can do it. So I'm going to try detaching it. That's super easy. And this definitely is bending back. You can kind of see what happens just with one try of doing that. So I think as I'm attaching it, this bends. And with the stiffer cardboard, it might be a little easier to prevent that problem from happening. So let's kind of plan out a nicer version of this. It almost looks like Batman. Huh. So here's our nicer cardboard. We need to draw it out. So, see if there's a spot here. I mean, I like this design. It looks pretty good. All right. So now to think about. Actually, let's see. You know what? I think I am realizing I might even be able to get 2 of these out of a single box. Now, before I do this, before I get too far ahead of myself, I'm going to cut out just this side so that it is it's just a piece of cardboard, and I can kind of lay this out, because if I like this, I want to be able to make multiple ones out of this one. So let's actually cut out the corners so that we can use the entire thing of cardboard now. One side, it'll be a lot easier to do the other. So again, I like the shape. If I move this up, it's also going to be a little bit easier to cut out. Go up like that. I think that's it. Okay, cool. So there's one, and yeah, that's pretty close. I think I can definitely get two out of this. Slide that over. All right. Okay. All right, and now we cut. I think if I had an X-Acto knife ready to go, that would be a better way to do this. And I'm going to cut the notch later. Certainly, if I was, maybe I can digitize this design and think about doing this on the laser cutter. It would be done by now. Slow going. This cardboard is, again, thicker and denser than the other stuff. There we go. Alright, so there's the original. There's the new version. And let's clean this up just a little bit. And cut our notches. I think just for aesthetics, you can sort of see the way I've laid that out, and it's not symmetric. So I'm going to make one more adjustment, and I'm gonna make those notches symmetric on both sides. You can kind of see on this one, the straight notch is here. It's on the outside, and so I'm just going to flip that around. It's just this tooth down here that's not quite right. Make sure I do that right. So I'll do these first. Okay. So just so I don't forget, to this notch so it's straight on that side. Alright, there it is. Feels about right. Alright, moment of truth. Find that other notch. All right. I think that's pretty good. So I'll probably cut out the other one. But this definitely will work. And so for this mask, I wonder if it's the same with other masks, or if it'll, I guess it would just kind of stretch. I think it would work with other masks too. But this is cool. All right. So I think that's going to do it for our first. I think that's going to do it for first design of our cardboard challenge. Now that I have my original and I have my working prototype here, it comes off. That's pretty straightforward, pretty easy to use, even without looking. I will call this a success story at this point. So let's go through what happened. We started out with a rectangular piece of cardboard just like this. We tried slits in the end. That didn't work, so I tried moving the slits to the other side, and that worked great. I made a rectangular piece. I figured out that those slits really hard to kind of do behind my neck, so I turned them into triangles, and that worked, and I was able to attach it behind my neck without looking, and so that was good. And then I was able to remove some material, make it a little bit more aesthetically pleasing, and this was using the old cardboard, and now I have made another version using the stiffer cardboard now that I was pretty sure of what I wanted to make, and now I have a solution to a real problem. So thanks for watching. This was really fun. Stay tuned for more things that I'm going to try to put together. Have a great day.